the family spokesperson throughout the week and updating the media on the proceedings as to what will be happening throughout the week. We do understand that the funeral service will be held tomorrow. His friend will also have, his funeral service will also be held tomorrow. That's Chips, who was also shot dead in the same incident in Durban last week, Friday. We do understand that he had been there for a performance on that particular night. And in fact, he was preparing to go and perform at that venue that had been booked when he was shot outside the restaurant where he had just been having a meal with some of his friends. And sadly, some of those visuals were indeed released into public domain and leaked into public domain. It was said by Tony Forbes, that's aka his father, that you see on the visuals there, that they were quite distraught, rightly so, of course, about the fact that that particular video of his last moments had been released into the public domain, which really shows some disturbing visuals of what in fact went down on that Friday night, on that fateful Friday night, when Keenan Forbes was indeed shot down alongside his friend Debelo Gibbs, who also had his memorial service. I believe it was yesterday. So today, of course, they've called fans, friends, family, of course, to pay their last respects in a memorial service. The funeral service tomorrow will be a private event, as I understand it. So this is for the fans, the many fans of AKA, who wanted an opportunity to, of course, bid farewell to AKA, as we heard from many of his fans today, celebrating his music, his rise to popularity, and sadly also at a time when he was getting ready, I suppose, to release his latest offering. I believe it's called Mass Country. That's on the back of the successful Bova Mania. He began, of course, his music career whilst in high school. I do believe he was at St. John's High School here in Johannesburg, which is where he met a number of his friends and who encouraged him and joined him, in fact, in his choice, really, to get into the music industry. But certainly he was the one to carry on in this field and became a very popular rapper here in South Africa. I suppose one could say one of the top rappers in South Africa. He, of course, on the 21st of February 2021, indeed showed that he had, in fact, been engaged, and that was one of the many stories that have come up in public domain. He had been engaged to Nelly Tembe, and of course Nelly Tembe then passed away after a fall from a hotel in Cape Town. A lot has been said about that particular death on social media, and in fact some even blaming the Tembe family for what took place. We've heard from the family, they've said they, of course, have nothing to do with this, and they wish the Forbes family well, and they've expressed, of course, their deepest condolences. So on the 10th of February then, it's last week Friday, AKA was scheduled to perform at Hugo nightclub in Durban as part of the birthday celebrations and also early release, I suppose, of the album Mass Country. And at around 10 p.m. that night, and I mean, the news really sort of started to hit the public domain very soon after that, and I think there had been some concerns whether or not the family had been alerted at that particular time. On the visuals at this time, you see DJ Zinhle, and who shares a daughter with AKA, and I think in that visual as well you can see his daughter. And there had been really big concerns about whether